How you doing? We're at the garden. I haven't been here in over 2 weeks. We have had a ton of rain. We've had a ton of heat, and everything in the garden is just taken off, including the weeds. So I just got to my garden plot right now. I haven't walked through it. So last time I was here, I planted all kinds of beans and extra seeds and all kinds of stuff. So what we're gonna do is, I figured as I'm walking through to see what's growing, I figured I would take you guys along with me, and we're gonna see what kind of nightmare I have to deal with today. I know that I'm gonna have a lot of weeding to do, plus I have some plants I have to plant and stuff. So let's go for a walk. We'll just walk up and down the beds, and I'll point out what's going on, and you guys are gonna be about as surprised as I am. So this is what it currently looks like. Basically what I expected since I haven't been here. So I'm gonna have to, I brought my weed whacker with me, so I'm gonna have to trim all of this stuff. So these are all the bush beans that I've planted, and that's good that they're coming along real good. All these bush beans are up. Gonna have to weed all of that. Hey, wow, look at that, guys. Those are all beets. That's looking awesome. Look at all those beets. Super healthy. Oh, the leaves are nice and crisp. Hey, wicked. That's good. So we'll step between all the weeds and the grass. These are golden beets that I planted a little after I planted those beets. So I'm glad to see those are coming up. There is a tomato plant growing up through. That's interesting. All right. Now there's not much here. Holy. When I left here, these are all the onions. When I left here, they were, as thin as a little wispy thing like that. So, wow. I got to deal with all of this grass. This is what I'm talking about. Heat and rain and heat and rain. I think what I'm going to have to do with these pepper plants, these are my almas. See how they're all putting out tons of fruit? But the plants are tiny. And that's because the plant is putting its energy into making those fruit instead of growing big. So we're going to have to deal with that. Let's check out the tomatoes. Hey, I was hoping that was here. I doubt it works. My emergency radio. If you don't have an emergency radio, that's the brand I bought. Gustermny, I think it's called. We'll turn that on after. We'll see if it works. We'll just put it up here. All right. So, tomatoes are looking all right. That is not looking good though. I figured I'm going to be doing a whole lot of tomato pruning when I got here today anyways. So, and then those are a couple of smaller ones that were not tall enough to trellis. So I'll get those on the trellis netting today. Oh, fantastic. It's growing. You see these? That is 1,500-year-old Mexican cave beans. So we'll have to figure out what's happening with that. And then this is a Seychelles bean, which is also growing under the trellis or under the geotextile. That's just a weed. Okay, well, that's all right. Oh, my tomatoes I think they're a little sick. Look at that. Okay. Well, I'm definitely going to be pruning out some tomatoes today. So the tomatoes are about 4 feet tall now. So that's working. Let's check out. So these are cucamelons. And these cucamelons are supposed to be on this trellis netting. So today I'm going to have to detangle them from all of the weeds that are growing back there, and I'm gonna have to tie them up onto the trellis netting and growing up. These are my leeks, which as you can see are being completely overrun by weeds and all kinds of other stuff. So I'm gonna have to put some serious effort into cleaning this up, or my leek harvest is gonna be no good. Off to the next bed. Let's see what we can find. Random glove. Holy jeez. Look how big the zucchini plants have gotten. They're huge. Oh, look at that. We even have zucchinis in here. Oh, we have a whole bunch of zucchini in here. Okay. Look at that. Look at that monster. So we'll get in here today. Oh, good. Oh, geez. Some of these are huge. So these really big ones, I'm probably just going to turn into shredded zucchini and put in my freezer or something. Well, it looks like the cucumbers have finally taken off. All right, they're doing great, it looks like. So I'm gonna have to get in here today. I knew this was on the list of things to do today. So I have all of my clips. We're gonna be training all of these cucumbers up this trellis because they are not allowed to grow on the ground like that. Here's my broccoli. When I left here, these things were like about the size of my hand, and now they're 2+ feet across. The kale is just rocking. Look at that. I'll have to get in there too and clean up some of the stuff underneath. Oh, don't step on the cucumbers. This is all broccoli right here. I don't know if I'm going to get heads out of them. Oh, look, I don't know if you can see. So the heads are starting, so that's good. I was worried with all the heat that we're having, they're just gonna bolt, which is a distinct possibility. Oh, wow. Huh, I actually have full cabbage heads. Well, at least one full cabbage head. Guys, this is 2 weeks of growth. These were just itty bitty plants when I left here 2 weeks ago. And now look at the size of that head. I'm gonna have so much weeding to do today, it's disgusting. So these are cauliflower. I don't know if, I'm gonna have to take a look, see if they're doing anything in there. And if they are, I'm gonna have to wrap those heads up. All right, and down here, we have an eggplant, we have an eggplant down here. You can't see it through all the weeds, but there's actually an eggplant. Oh, and it's flowering too. Good. And then here is Brussels sprouts. Oh, wow. I think I'm gonna realistically probably spend most of my day weeding this garden, guys. Let's see if I can make it through here without damaging anything. All right, so this is the carrot patch. I definitely have to weed this carrot patch today, if all else. Oh, and apparently my neighbor's squash is trying to grow into my garden. So we're gonna have to redirect that because I can't have their stuff growing into my stuff. All right, what do we have over here? Let's flip this around. Okay, so we've got all kinds of dill, right? Awesome. Next, cilantro. This is all the seeds I planted a couple weeks ago. So that's a good sign. Beside the cilantro, we have spinach, right? Nice little spinach. Beside the spinach, we should have, I don't quite remember what I planted in this block. Obviously nothing's growing in there. So we'll just move down. Over here, we have our bunching onions, right? We've got rows of bunching onions. This would be the Thai basil that I planted, and that's looking awesome. It didn't look very good when I planted it. So that's cool. The basil looks a lot healthier. I just uploaded a video today on how to prune your basil, Oh, look what we've got in the basil plants. Have to come pick those off. All right. Wow, guys, there is so much weeds. And like, look at this is a carrot patch. You can't see the carrots for the damn weeds. All right. Well, it is what it is, right? It's better that I have weeds and wet soil than dead plants because they didn't get any water. So this is our curly parsley. I'll expose that after. This is a random plant that was given to me, and I have no idea what it is. Can you guys who are watching this help me identify what this plant is? It's got long stems. It kind of feels like a broccoli leaf. It's waterproof, see? Water's beating on it. I don't know what it is, so I don't know how to eat it. And I would like to know, because once I know what it is, then I can start thinning it and pruning it. Oh, this looks like, this is the other random plant that was given to me. And that looks like dino kale. I'm pretty sure that that's dino kale. We have, here's our rhubarb Swiss chard. Look at the color of this. How gorgeous is that, right? Like deep maroon, veins, bright green. This stuff is really tasty. If you guys are looking for a really good Swiss chard variety, the rhubarb Swiss chard's a winner. So you look at how, and look at the color on that. How can you complain having that in your garden? More Swiss chard. More Swiss chard. Wow, that's just popping in colors. That's gorgeous. Different variety of Swiss chard and a different variety of Swiss chard. So, all right. And then also, oh, you know what? Hold on, we'll go check the other bed out. We're at my other bed. This is the new one I acquired this year. And these are all rows of potatoes. I did 160 linear feet of potatoes. We have russets and Yukon Golds in here. So we did, what did we do first? Russets first or Yukon Golds first? Let's see. All right, Yukon, we did Yukon Golds up to where? Somewhere up in here. I forgot, I did it in a storm. Oh yeah, you can see. Look at the color there. There's the Yukon Golds. And then you can see the russets. The plants look, for one, they're taller. See the height difference? And then these are a lighter green than the Yukon Golds. So that's a good sign. And then over here, I'm just growing a field of weeds here, you know, because that's just how I roll. Actually, I'm lying. There is, and I have to be careful where I walk. In here, this right here is cantaloupe, and over somewhere here, there, that's honeydew. And look at the cucumber beetles in my honeydew. And I have more melons to plant today, so I have to basically, I'm probably going to come in here with my weed whacker and I'm just going to weed whack the shit out of this because I need these melons to be able to grow out. So I'd say all in all, everything is looking banging. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'll turn the camera off here because we're getting at about 11 minutes or something. And I'm going to do a complete overhaul of the garden. I'll do a complete overhaul of the garden. And at the end of the day, I'll just do a quick update video. And you guys are going to be able to see the difference between what it looked like now and what it's going to look like when we're done. So I think I'm basically just going to start with weeding the beds because I can't do a whole lot else until the weeding is done. So I'm hoping that little emergency radio is going to work, and if it does, we're just going to crank the volume and get to weeding, and it'll probably take me, I would say an hour and a half to 2 hours to weed this, maybe more. So you friggin' ha. All right, I'll catch you on the back end. And we're back. It's 3 o'clock. It's taken 4.5 hours to get this far so far. So I was gonna weed whack all around the edging, but it turns out that my kids somehow unplugged my battery chargers for my weed whacker. So that's not happening today. So we weeded the carrot bed. For you guys who are wondering what the germination rates were like using that cornstarch and water method for the seeds, that's the germination rate you get. Plus, I also wasn't here for a week in the heat spell, so. But even some of the little ones are just starting to come up, so you can see, so we'll still get more. So we got all that carrot bed. If you guys ever wonder a way to grow your patience, try weeding a carrot bed. Because if you pull those little carrots out, they're toast. So this carrot bed here took me over an hour and a half just to do. So we got in there, done. I'm not gonna do the back. I'm gonna come back with a weed whacker. So we got that done. Carrot bed's looking awesome now. I don't think there's a single weed left in there. This had 2.5, 3 foot tall weeds across there. It's a big mound of them over there. My neighbor's squash of some sort was growing in my garden, so they can have that back. I'm not going to get to those weeds now because after I film this bit here, I got to start tying up all of these cucumbers onto the trellis. So I got to prioritize. We got all the weeds that were here. Remember how tall they were? They were like that tall right along here. We got all the weeds pulled out of the peppers. Most of the weeds pulled out of the onions. Most anyways. And then we got that whole trench done, which was as thick as that. But the nice thing is if you have to weed, do it when the soil's moist, because then everything pulls out a lot easier. These are beets that my friend gave me today, so I just planted them, and they look all wilty and they look like crap, but I transplanted those a while ago and they looked like crap. Those are beets too, and they came back. So I figure if we get some rain in the next couple of days, they'll probably pull through. And then we got all the weeding done at this end of the bed here, right? This was pretty tall. And then here's my leeks. You couldn't even see that for the amount of weeds that were in the leeks. So there's my the leek patch, and I got the weeds there. So 4.5 hours it took to get all that. I think I got here at 10:30 and I talked with some people. So that's what it takes, guys. So that was just weeding, and now I have 5 hours of work left to do and an hour and a half to do it all. So I gotta turn the rocket boosters on. So have an awesome day. Subscribe to the channel. Stay on top of your weeds and grow good food. See ya. Bye.